So what is your answer for this?
A.
People treated in a hospital EDs has dramatically risen dramatically in the past 5 years. Okay. Addiction to prescription painkillers is soaring. Okay. That means with the number of Victorians being treated in hospital emergency departments more than doubling in the past 5 years. Okay. Health experts say that the crisis is partly driven by suburban white collar patients. Okay. So, yeah, A is the right answer. People treated in the hospital emergency departments has risen dramatically in the past 5 years. Very, very good. Shall we check the next one? Okay. Do you have any
Yes,
doubt?
sir.
It's very, very straightforward answer.
No, sir.
Okay. What about this one? According to the journalist,
B.
B.
B is a health, including pain.
Yes, Health, including pain specialist, arranged an Australia-wide seminar in Melbourne. Okay, we'll see. With an aging population fueling a jump in conditions. I'm sorry. We'll read it again. With an aging population fueling a jump in conditions such as arthritis, they fear addiction to painkillers will rise further. Since 1991, there has been a 40-fold rise in the morphine tablet use in Australia, while the use of oxycodone has quadrupled 4 times. Medical professionals are now so concerned about the painkillers abuse that 70 leading GPs, physiotherapists, chiropractors, and pain management specialists convened a national pain summit. National means countrywide. Okay, so here in Melbourne, so we can assume that it is Australia wide. Okay, convened a national pain summit in Melbourne last week. Yeah, so they are saying that the number of people who are addicted to painkillers are expected to rise further because more and more people are reporting conditions like arthritis and all those things. So and they are also mentioned that 40 times increase in the use of this particular tablet in Australia. Okay, and there is another tablet which has the use of which has multiplied 4 times, quadrupled. Okay, so now what happened is that medical professionals so concerned, so they all the people who are into this medical field, they are now developed a concern of so much misuse of painkillers that 70 of them leading GPs, physiotherapists, and chiropractors, okay, and pain management specialists, they all convened a national pain summit. We are talking about conference or a seminar, okay, summit in Melbourne last week. So yeah, that is why health, including pain specialists, arranged an Australia-wide seminar in Melbourne. Okay, are you clear why the other options are incorrect?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Sir, and one more thing. They have told in the first option A,
Uh,
stating like will be reporting to an Australian corporate October 2009. It is not mentioned, so we can eliminate it by like guessing.
yeah, see that one, like some of your options can be, obviously eliminated because it will be very, straightforward to understand that this particular option is not likely an answer. So, such kind of options, possibility of finding such kind of options in your questions are always there. Okay, so if you come across, but at the same time, you have to exercise a little bit caution before you finally strike it down as incorrect, because sometimes instead of using this 2009 word or this particular number as itself, they may sometimes present it in some other verbal ways. So it might be sometimes easy to ignore that, and we may sometimes eliminate it even when it is mentioned. So did you get that point? So a, a little bit caution has to be exercised um, every time you try to eliminate an option. At the same time, you have to exercise same amount of caution while you are narrowing down or selecting a particular option. You get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. What is this one? Bread and butter. What do you mean by this? The idea expressed by bread and butter in paragraph 5 is
D.
consequences of administrations are numerous. Bread and butter. No, no. Bread and butter. What is this bread and butter generally used to express? Like what? Like this is my bread and butter. What, like if somebody says that, what is he trying to imply?
Means without effort, something is getting.
And not without a, this is actually an expression commonly used to talk about something that is that person's profession. Okay, something that he does. Okay, or something that puts meals on his table. Okay, something that provides him food to eat. So that is what we mean by bread and butter. Okay, so basically when somebody says the word, this is my bread and butter, that means this is something that I do for living.
Um,
Okay, so that is what it means. Okay, so now we'll still try to read it, read this particular paragraph after understanding that particular angle. Okay, of that meaning. The problem was also being fueled by people being prescribed pain medications after orthopedic surgery or major injuries. When the drugs failed to work, the dosage was increased. This can often become a battle against pain, and the doctor and the patient can never win. Okay, he said the injury not out on whether the jury is not out on whether this is a major problem for drug treatment services. The jury is back in. This is becoming the bread and butter of what we do. Dr. Frame said he believed Australia could go the same way as United States, where abuse of prescription painkillers is soaring. So this particular doctor is saying this is becoming a bread and butter of what we do. So he's like they're talking about over prescribing, or prescribing this particular medications for almost any kind of pain problem, and then momentarily the dosage keeps on increasing because it is they have described as like it's often a battle against pain. Okay, which is which the patient or the doctor cannot win. Okay, because patient is always going to report that the pain is high, and you need to keep on increasing the dosage. Okay, so what he's saying is that so this he's talking about that, but then this doctor is saying this is becoming the bread and butter of what we do. So he is saying that this is something that we very normally do. He is not finding anything unusual about that, because he's saying that it's a bread and butter of what we do. This is something that is very normal for us to prescribe, or like prescribing of this particular pain medications to anyone after orthopedic surgery, and and making continuously monetarily increasing the dosage and all those things is not something uncommon, or not something that nobody does. It is becoming a bread and butter of what we do. So that is what this doctor is saying. So what about option number C?
yes, sir.
He's saying, yeah, such means of treatment are something unrestrained. Unrestrained means there is no restraint, there is no limitation on like whether you should do this or not. But yeah, the doctor is saying it's bread and butter of what we do.
Yes, understood.
Do you understand that now? Okay. Shall we move to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Doctor shopped. What do you mean by what does doctor shopped in the fifth paragraph refer to?
D.
D. Choosing the
Bargaining with
professional on pills given. Yes.
bar-
Or B. Bargaining with medics for.
bargaining with medics for
Uh,
illegal.
no, that's not the right answer. D is the right answer. See, what they are asking is like, what do you understand by the word Doctor Soft? So, like you can see it here. Okay, so what? Um, we'll continue. Richard Smith from Addiction, the Raymond Harder Clinic said Australians were already the highest per capita users of analgesics, paracetamol, and aspirin in the world. He said Pill popping has been normalized by Hollywood's widespread use of prescription medications. So we saying the pill popping means it's a way of saying that eating medicines for almost anything, and it has been normalized by Hollywood's widespread use of these kind of medications. Okay, singer Michael Jackson was believed to be addicted to painkillers at the time of his death, and actor Ledger died from an accidental overdose of prescription drugs, including oxytocin. Dr. Smith said, "We recently saw a woman with two young kids. She had a back injury and was advised to have operations, putting in braces. She ended up with serious pain from the operations and was getting some serious medications. The withdrawal symptoms are the same as heroin, if not worse." Dr. Fennin said, "Addicted patients often doctor shopped to get a new prescription or told their GP that they had lost the first one. When refused, they often went to an emergency department, or they will just, they just choosing the professional on the pills given. They will choose like who is giving the medicine. They will choose them. If it is, they're saying that if the GP said, they will even go to an emergency department. They will choose another professional who will give
Uh-huh.
this prescription. So doctor shopped actually means who he was. The people who are addicted to this kind of painkillers will go out looking for different kinds of professionals who are who are willing to prescribe these medications. And if by chance any of these medical professionals don't decide to prescribe this medicine, they will immediately decide not to continue, and instead they will go to an emergency department where they may have another chance to meet another doctor who may prescribe. So that is what they mean by the word doctor shopped, or they are shopping doctors.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is why option number D, choosing the professional on the pills given, is a likely answer. Very, very good. Okay, shall we do the next one?
So only four questions we have sent.
Okay, well, we'll try to do this one. What do you say? Can you see it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll start up the time. Okay, you have 2 minutes to read the question, and after 2 minutes, we'll discuss the answers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you think? Very straightforward answer.
Um, so B,
B. Australians are following the footsteps of Hollywood celebrities. That means following the footsteps means they are trying to do what Hollywood celebrities are doing. Uh, is that what Richard Smith said? See, according to the question, you have to look for what this person called as Richard Smith told. So, just tell me, where is this Richard Smith mentioned?
Dr. Smith said,
Ah,
recently saw.
where is it? Dr. Smith. No, before that also it is there. Start from the beginning. Is there any other places where Richard Smith? I think there is like Richard Smith from Addiction. Can you see Doctor Ferren friend?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, maybe the next line. Richard Smith from Addiction, the Raymond Hayder Clinic said Australians were already the highest per capita users of analgesics in the world. That is what this guy told. Okay, so what do you think? Which option is talking about that particular information?
Biggest users of analysis.
Yeah, man, were very straightforward answer. Okay,
Yes, sir.
but what I want to know is like, did you actually miss that Richard Smith was mentioned twice in this paragraph?
I thought like previous one, Dr. Brain something is there, so this one will be like
Okay,
that
that
will be
that
an
brings me to a suggestion. Okay, that brings me to a suggestion. The suggestion here is that when you have a question where you have a word or some particular thing that you're looking for. Okay, in this case, you know that you have to look for where they have mentioned about Richard Smith. Okay, so obviously when you look for that information, it is 100% important that you scan the entire paragraph. Okay, because C part always you have to read from beginning to the end of that particular paragraph, because the information will definitely be spread across that paragraph, entire paragraph. So you cannot probably come to a conclusion just by reading a few lines in that paragraph. Okay, so that is my first suggestion. So to make sure that you read from top to bottom, okay, of that particular paragraph. Okay, now when you look for a particular name or when you look for a specific information in that paragraph, and you likely come across a place where that name or a particular word is used, still you have to make sure that these words are like not used anywhere else in the paragraph. Okay, or you have to cross verify that this is the only place, or is there any other places as well in the paragraph where this thing is mentioned. So if you find, so you have to try highlight underlining all those portions where likely these words are used, because then you might have to decide like which of the section or which portion might be good for the answer. So it's important that you scan through the entire paragraph and try to look for all the places where you can see this word like Richard Smith, if at all you're looking for similar words.
yes.
Get that? Good.
Yeah.
So we'll move to the next one. What about this one?
B.
Mm, you B, using variety of strategies to get the prescription filled, and going from one doctor to another to get the prescription filled. So you have B and C as two options. What is the difference between these two options?
Using a variety of strategies to get prescription filled. They're
That
telling like the doctor to
that
get a
means they
new
use
prescription.
different ways to get. Maybe it's not
Uh,
necessary that they will go to a doctor. They may try to steal it also from somewhere. So different ways, variety of
yes.
strategies. Okay. And the other
Uh,
option says that, if one doctor is prescribing, okay, if they are not giving, you'll move to another doctor to get the prescription again. He's not talking about the variety of ways.
uh,
Which one do you think is more appropriate?
but later they have told when refused, they often went to an emergency department.
To see a doctor.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
they go to the emergency department for what? They're not anyway. That's not
Oh,
They
yes.
they are to see a doctor.
See.
Did you understand that? Okay. So, yeah, no problem. Not a very big problem anyway. But you understood, right? How a possible answer could hmm,
Yes, sir.
change. Can you do this one?
Yes. See.
Mm, Patients using painkillers reported a 30% reduction in pain. Okay, so Dr. Penelope Briscoe of Australia and New Zealand College of Anesthetics said medications reduced pain by only about 30% and failed to work for 2 out of 3 patients. Yes, correct answer. Patients using painkillers reported 30% reduction in pain. Yes. So that is what it's pain by only 30%. Reduced pain by
If
30.
any numerical is there, like numbers, then we can go directly to that number and
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
sentence.
See, if most of the time, if you find any such kind of questions where you have numbers or any such kind of information like name of a researcher or any such kind of things, maybe an year 1958, and all these kind of things could be a possible hint for you to locate where the information is. Okay, so I think yeah, you can definitely do that. But again, like I've told earlier, exercise certain degree of carefulness, before you finalize, because you can expect all kind of surprises, just because a particular sentence is constructed in a certain way, sometimes could alter the overall meaning of what that particular sentence is presenting. So extremely important that you cross check in and out, and verify or validate your answer before you finalize it. You get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.